Crystal of Atlan is such a good game. I have had immense amounts of fun in it. It's beautiful, it plays well, the characters are fun, but there is a glaring issue that has caused many players to not only quit, but voice their frustration, their discontent online. This has really dragged the game down, inhibited it from achieving any form of success, and might ultimately end with the game end of servicing. Let's go ahead here and take a look at exactly what happened. Crystal of Atlan subreddit is on fire over stamina. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume this is in reference to the stamina requirements for a lot of content. So Mrs. Stix actually, she did a video review of this a little while ago, and she talked about the fact that stamina was required to do, the story, to do a lot of the content in the game. If you haven't watched her official review, but I strongly urge you to go ahead and take a look if you're at all interested in playing a Crystal of Atlan in the future. But she and I made very explicit note of this before going into it, because it is that kind of game. But that is what I'm assuming they're making reference to here. Check their subreddit. Here are apparently a few different examples. They gatekeep stamina so hard. Okay, here are 5 different threads, all linked. I'm assuming all these are over the course of like the last 24 hours, right? 10 hours, 23, 10, 22, 12. Oh my God. I pay 5 stamina for 19 seconds of gameplay. Very nice. I mean, yeah, that's valid. He completed that in 19 seconds. Whole of chapter 3, levels are 15 to 20 seconds long. All my stamina is gone in 5 minutes. So this guy, playing through chapter 3, you can play for what, like 5 minutes a day? That's what this guy's insinuating? That's crazy. That's crazy. New MMO, gatekeeping progression behind stamina. That's very finite. It takes forever to replenish. You can finish, you can play the game for 5 minutes a day. That's wild. You need 10 ults to keep playing the game for more than 20 minutes. Ults share the same energy till your main is level 60 or something. This game is gonna die as soon as possible. That is so depressing to see, chat. I never had ults when I played in the beta test. Lies? Is he actually exaggerating? Okay, wait. What are we talking here? Are we talking 10 minutes? 20? You can't have a gacha stamina system in MMO. I agree. I do think it's obnoxious to have stamina in MMOs. I didn't like it even in back when Soul Worker was a thing. Bro doesn't play the game. You only get account energy once your character reaches level 60 is what I mean. It literally says when you click on the energy symbol and all the rules. Interesting. I get the frustration. You also know what it's like to be restricted like this when focusing only on one game. That's why you don't play with just one game, chat. Need a restriction to not finish the story too fast, but they could have removed energy from there and put it into grinding stuff. Chapters are too short, no story, no chatting, nothing. Just go kill 20 monsters for 20 seconds and next. I mean, I remember there being story in the game, a lot of story in the game. I don't remember chapter 3 specifically, but played a whole 6 hours yesterday and still had stamina after that. They might... Oh, that's actually interesting, because Mrs. Stix and I remember when we played, we streamed the beta every day for like a week. We definitely ran out of stamina while streaming, and we streamed for about 3 hours a day. And we also streamed Do It Night Abyss. So I think we ran out of stamina probably each day after about 2 hours. So I guess it depends how fast you move through the content, what you're doing with the content, and whether you're reading everything, because we skipped the story, or I skipped the story in the beta because I didn't want to read it because it wasn't voice acted, and I'm more fond of playing through stories live when the official game launches. That way it's localized correctly, there are less bugs, less issues. So I mean, it's good to know. 19 seconds, this is, I mean, 19 seconds, sure, but this is probably, maybe for a few different stages and not necessarily indicative of the entirety of chapter 3, I'm guessing. Okay, let's see what else. Having story segments cost stamina is a bad choice. This is 100% truth. The story should never be gated in a game. A gacha game, an MMO, anything. You should be able to play through the game at your own pace and consume the game and everything it has to offer in terms of story at your own pace. Tower Fantasy, gated story behind login, behind a set number of time, gated, or they're like little orbs that were out in the world, treasure chests and everything behind time, which killed the game. People didn't want to have to wait to actually play the game. The game uses a gacha-style stamina system to engage in these systems like story dungeons, and they deplete. Unlike gacha, story moments don't consume your stamina, and your stamina regens a unit every 6 minutes. This game does not. It's a really small fix, but a large oversight, honestly. I know it could be for stopping people blasting through the game, but it leaves such a sour taste. I mean, yeah, like I said, gating in MMOs is terrible. Before we go any further, I do want to take a moment here to thank all of my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and I genuinely cannot thank you all enough for the support. Don't love that part of it, but I think it's because I want to make you to make ults like Lost Ark. The only MMO I've ever made ults in is actually World of Warcraft, and that's because I loved PvPing as different classes. But no, I do understand the importance of ults in some MMOs. I like a lot of things about this game, and it's fun to play, but the stamina can be such a turn off. It doesn't work well in an MMO. Like, I think that's a general consensus, right? Gachas have gated content, and people seem to accept that to an extent. MMOs have gated content, and people are upset. So I think there's like a clear distinction between MMO players and gacha players and what they each are okay with. Crucible fine, it's fun, but like it won't last long since level cap 60, the amount of endgame content's minimal. Really, the map's so simple. I'm okay with the map being simple. That's why Tower Fantasy 1.0 died so quick. It did, yeah. They gated like so much of the game, and everyone, so people went into Tower Fantasy from the perspective of it being an MMO. And MMO players don't like autoplay. They don't like gacha. They don't like mobile, you know, like any kind of mobile functionality in their game. They don't like time gates. So like Tower Fantasy had so much of that. So that's why Tower Fantasy died so quickly. Crystal Atlan, when you try to play for more than 8 minutes, I don't know what they think players will do. I'm not spending money to play. If it isn't changed soon, I'm just gonna leave. Here's another person saying they can't play longer than 8 minutes. I hate that game. Crazy how the gameplay are on point, but then you put the gacha system into the game and would allow controller support. They should change it and let people who like to be able to live their life and keep up with everyone simultaneously enjoy the game. I played like 1 hour and I'm already out of stamina. And they have been, yeah, well that sucks. I got time gated for the main story. LOL, who thought that shitty design, God's sakes. Stamina system like this has no reason to exist if it's supposed to be more of an MMO than a standard gacha. This will keep me from playing, which is really too bad. I've been pretty interested and I kind of need something new. I didn't understand why they would stop pushing players from leveling up because they're money hungry bastards. Oh my God, chat. Never imagined this would release on, okay, typical mobile game. I actually think Chris of Atlan is a good game, but the gating, the time gating is causing a mass exodus of players. I think that's the issue. Stamina on a supposedly MMO can't wait for Star Resonance. Star Resonance, chat. Out of the two, Star Resonance is significantly better than Crystal of Atlan. Crystal of Atlan is a fun game that is unfortunately held down by certain issues like stamina. If they remedy the stamina situation, I guarantee you the game would be so much more enjoyable for people. Energy in an MMO. I'm honestly so disappointed. I was so excited to play the game for months, but then I heard about 2 weeks before release that they made it energy based. There's absolutely zero reason you can give to make it acceptable to do the god-awful energy recharge restrictions on an MMO. Do not advertise this game as an MMO if you aren't gonna actually make it one. This sadly feels like a glorified mobile game, just like Genshin Impact. I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest, Genshin Impact isn't a glorified mobile game. Dude, Genshin Impact, love or hate it, you cannot seriously, genuinely say that Genshin Impact is a shitty mobile game. Genshin Impact is in terms of just general mobile games, a phenomenal mobile game. It is nothing, it is better than the vast majority of single player anime games on console and PC. Genshin might not be good in terms of gameplay or even graphics compared to Wuthering Waves or other upcoming games, but calling Genshin Impact a glorified mobile game, come on. That's absurd. Genshin's high quality and the world is amazing. Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't like the game. It's fine to not like the game, but you can't say it's a glorified mobile game. That's disingenuous. Where you play for an hour and a half and then have nothing to do because you're out of energy. Horrible decision, ruined this game with that cash grabbing mechanic. The game will fail because of this. Imagine Final Fantasy 14 where you log in, use your 6 daily duty dungeons to level yourself 2 levels, then you're out of energy and have to log off. That is basically what this game is doing. This is not an MMO, this is a gacha RPG. Wow, these players are very upset. Item used to summon costumes. If you level up a character to 60, you could get 20 of these for leveling up. They changed it and it is now per account. Wouldn't be surprised if this game won't last well. The greedy decisions and the time getting stamina. Wait, what? You could get 20. Wait, is this actually legit a thing? An item used to summon costumes. If you level your character to 60, you could get 20 of them from the level up supplies, but they changed it and now it's per account rather than per character? Is that for real? Dude, that's crazy. Wow. If that is, like, I can't talk on the validity of whether that it was in fact a legit thing, but if so, that is crazy. You cannot make ults to grind the pulls now. I cannot believe it took them literally just 1 day to do a bait and switch. I was planning to drop some money, but after they took back a potential 80 pulls, I'm just done with this game. Yeah, that move they did speaks volumes. Why are they speedrunning end of service? Imagine, dude, that is crazy. Why would they do that? Genuinely, why would they do that? Like, it is not difficult, okay? It is not a difficult thing to launch a game and have it positively received, right? Don't take advantage of your players. Don't abuse their trust. Don't be overly greedy. The greedier you are, the less people are gonna stick with your game. Come on, man. Chris, like, here is how I like to look at it from my perspective. Maybe this doesn't work from a business perspective, but here's my perspective, okay? If a game launches and makes 1 million in its first month, but everyone enjoys your game, right? There's enough content to keep people playing your game, and the players appreciate the generosity you have exhibited, then they will stick with your game in month 2. When your update comes out in month 2, players will play it. When you introduce new characters, players will spend to obtain them. On the contrary, you can launch something and be incredibly greedy and make 5 million in its first month. Players will see how greedy you are and they will immediately quit. Those players will not be back for month 2. They will not be back for month 3 in future updates. So 1 year later, when you have been generous and rewarding to your players and you appreciate them, these people are still sticking with your game and you're still making $1 million a month. The people that'll quit because they saw how greedy you are have now tanked your revenue and you're making a couple $100 grand. That's it. So you made 5 million immediately and then barely anything each month and you're barely able to continue making content for your game. The people that stuck with you in the first instance are enjoying regular flowing content, continued generosity, and continued rewards for playing your game. Wuthering Waves is a prime example of this. They gave away so much and rewarded players so much for continuing to stick with them. I mean, and it shows. Players supported them and was continued to grow month after month. I genuinely don't think Crystal of Atlan is gonna, I had such high hopes for that game. I've been hyping it up for like 3 years. God damn. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.